everyone, they say talking about the weather is a great conversation starter. अब उसके बारे में तो बात कर ही सकते हैं because touch wood, the weather right now is great, but that's not what us Delhi walas actually worry about. It's the air quality. It's making us popular world over. Nobody is enjoying it. Breathing in and out hasn't been as stressful as it is now. अब बहुत सारे contributing factors हैं. There's vehicular pollution, those fumes from factories. आपके neighboring states like Punjab, Haryana, they have crops burning, and all these add to rise in pollution in Delhi NCR. And the other problem is that there's also the leading cause of respiratory problems. So there's allergic rhinitis, there's bronchial asthma, you have those recurrent episodes of wheezing, of coughing, of chest tightness. The other problem that we are facing sadly is a lack of data around it and public awareness, and unless you have knowledge, unless you have information, you cannot deal with a problem like this. So which is why I have a packed panel here. We are going to talk about how the rise in air pollution has a direct link to the severity in allergies, in respiratory disorders. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you to the second part of Let's Talk Allergies. At a time when, there's fake news and nobody knows whom to believe, we have experts sitting right here who will tell us what to do, what are the precautions we should be taking. So I'm going to take this opportunity to now introduce my guests. तो शुरुआत करेंगे Dr. Animesh Arya से. Thank you so much, sir, for being here. He is a senior consultant, chest physician, allergy, sleep disorder and critical care specialist. Then I have Dr. Vineet Sehgal. He is a leading pediatrician. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how you discuss all of this with kids and make them aware of the situation. Sure. Then I have Dr. Sarika Verma. She's an ENT surgeon and allergy specialist. And finally, to add another dimension to this discussion, we have a young concerned mother, also a very popular mom blogger, Saru Mukherjee Sharma.
Hi, everyone.
So really looking forward to this discussion. है ना? पहला सवाल भाई मुझे पूछना है कि do you feel the rise in air pollution is leading to health complications? And I want all of you to take this question. So starting with you.
Definitely, Stuti, the air pollution is increasing the short-term consequences on our health, so also the long-term consequences. So the acute or short-term effects are like burning in eyes, itching in throat, and various other factors which rise up during the severe polluting months are always on the rise. Right. But we have a hidden burden, that is the chronic diseases, particularly in the allergy burden related to our respiratory, as you mentioned, and so also long-term consequences like heart problems, diabetes worsening, and so also some oncological problems.
Talk from a child's perspective.
Yes.
We are definitely seeing more episodes of cough, cold, fever happening. So the number of episodes is increasing. The episode duration is increasing. We used to say it will get well in 5 to 7 days. It's now taking 7 to 10 days, maybe 10 to 14 days. And then we have children who've never ever wheezed, 8 years old, 10 years old, coming in suddenly first time with a, almost a life-threatening sort of a wheezing, the pollution which is kind of bothering.
I think it's a depressing world we're leaving for our kids, ma'am. You'd want to add to that?
So basically, you have a lot of studies that are coming out that, pollution is reducing your lifespan by a certain amount of years. It's also reducing the quality of life that you have. But pollution is also increasing the amount of allergies that we are having now. Yeah. Because about 4 decades back, 1 out of 10 people would get an allergy. That's about 10%. And now in the last 2 decades, the percentage is almost 1 in 4.
Saru, I would like to get you here in. You're a young mother.
Yeah.
How do you process this information? Like doctor said, young kids now, having these issues with breathing, coughing, and they take such a long time. So, what's...
Yeah, so I think my biggest concern with this entire air pollution thing is that I'm worried about what are the long-term, like doctor said, like what are the long-term effects that it's going to leave. Of course, we see the cough and cold as the immediate, response to the air pollution. But we don't know. The fear is always of the unknown, and taking this opportunity to ask from the experts.
Absolutely, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, so I'm right now running through all these questions. So one big concern is that how do we identify and distinguish that why, is this a cough and cold is due to the common cold and flu, or is it from, it's an allergy based out of air pollutants?
Right. Dr. Sehgal, you want to take that?
Yes, so This is a common conundrum in children. You know, this child has come to me. Is it just a normal viral cough cold or is it an allergy? So typically a viral cough cold would have fever, would have cough cold. Others around him, other children or other family members might be affected. So there is sort of a clustering, so to say. And usually they would get well within 5 to 7 days, maybe 10 days. On the other hand, allergies, usually fever might not be or will probably not be a prominent feature. You have the same cough cold, but it doesn't go away. It goes on for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. So a cough cold which refuses to go away if there is a little bit of wheezing and there are no surrounding cases. So that's happening again and again every month, 2 months. Then that's your kind of red flag that you know you're dealing with allergies and it's not your usual viral cough allergies.
Add something to that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So allergies there are two kinds of allergies. One is seasonal, and the other is which happens throughout the year. That's called a persistent allergy. सुबह उठता हूँ छींके आती हैं. Yeah. So that is most of that's called persistent allergic rhinitis. If you have symptoms more than 4 weeks in a year, then definitely you need to undergo an allergy test so that you know for sure what is the allergy and how you can avoid it.
Okay, I'm coming to you for that because I go through this sneezing every morning, and but I know that you know this, and it is seasonal. But for my son, it's almost like you know throughout the year. So
this I find very interesting. So Saru is a young mother here, and she's been vehemently nodding at everything that the doctor said because you know that's what happens to all of us. We don't even realize, we don't understand that allergy hai, haan, theek hai, we don't know. There's lack of information, and also Delhi walas have that world famous attitude. ना दिल्ली है, pollution है, चलेगा. So ये laid back approach is what we need to control, and so we're going to take this conversation forward, and I have some very specific questions. Doctors, generally we go to doctors and they ask us questions, but I've got this chance to ask the doctors questions. So Dr. Arya, आपसे मैं शुरू करूँगी. Asthma, bronchitis, बाकी जो respiratory ailments हैं, are they directly linked to high air pollution levels?
Partly they are, somewhat, but triggers could be increase in air quality or worsening air quality index. तो अगर pollution बढ़ता है तो ये trigger करता है किसी भी asthmatic में, the person is more likely to have an attack irrespective of his primary condition. So similarly, change in the environment is more than the air quality index or air pollution, and so also both combined with environmental change and the air pollution, the allergies increase. Second is bronchitis you mentioned. So definitely all bronchitis is related to particulate matter what we inhale. So any difference in air pollution would definitely increase pollution, air bronchitis. And as Vineet pointed out, we see nowadays that a small cough and cold does not get better in the due time. So everybody has to start using a nebulization thinking it is a bronchitis. So both things are adversely affecting our bronchitis and asthma patients.
You know, I've heard this term a lot, allergic rhinitis. And what are the symptoms? What does it mean? It's so commonly used, but what is it exactly?
So allergic rhinitis is primarily patient presents with a few symptoms. They include sneezing, itching in the nose, nasal blockage, and sometimes watering of the eyes or redness of the eyes. So typically patient बोलता है मैं उठता हूँ बहुत छींकें आती जाती हैं उसके बाद नाक बहने लगता है रुमाल में लेके घूमना पड़ता है. I have to carry a box of tissues, and a lot of time it is associated with allergic conjunctivitis. So allergic rhinitis when it is acute, अब short duration का है फिर तो थोड़ी सी medicines आप GP से या over the counter लेके आप ठीक हो जाते हैं. But like I said, then there are two long term phases of it. एक है seasonal allergic rhinitis जो चेंज ऑफ सीजन में आता है, पर्टिकुलर पोलन की वजह से आता है, एंड दूसरा परसिस्टेंट एलर्जिक राइनाइटिस. हाउस डस्ट माइट आपने सुना होगा. हाउस डस्ट माइट आर माइक्रोस्कोपिक इंसेक्ट्स जो बेडशीट मैट्रेसेस में रहते हैं. दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर 55% ऑफ द परसिस्टेंट एलर्जिक राइनाइटिस.
In fact, I would just say that is called the allergic march.
Okay.
So you start with a simple zukam or allergic rhinitis, and over the period of years you become sensitized. Our breathing tubes become more hyper reactive. So there is an intermediate phase बीच की स्थिति है जहाँ पे we are more twitchy airways. We react to everything like laughing, exercise, air pollution. But then it turns into a true asthma. So that is a classical allergy march, as Dr. Verma pointed out, that if you do not treat well in time, you are likely that 1 in 3 people would turn into an allergic asthma.
Allergy march. I've never heard this term. Dr. Sehgal, बच्चों की इन्होंने बात की. Now kids, you know, they say they breathe more frequently as compared to adults. और मुंह खोल के सांस लेने की आदत होती है. Does that make them more susceptible to these allergies?
Yes, very rightly said that, you know, there are multiple reasons why children are more susceptible to pollutants. So one of this is what you call the minute ventilation, because they breathe faster. So obviously the amount of air they draw in per kg, let's say, is much more compared to an adult. Then they breathe through their mouth, so they are bypassing the nose, which is जो एक कुदरत ने फिल्टर बना के भेजा था, तो you are bypassing that. 3, they spend more time outdoors, so outdoor pollution affects them more. Adults तो office based हैं, desk based हैं, so you don't go out as much. They play outside, and then their immune systems are not as mature, so they can't fight the infections. And when you are exposed to pollutants, your pathway towards the allergy side kind of gets triggered or induced, so you react more.
तो बच्चों की बात हो गई. Now to the mother here. ये जो environmental changes हो रहे हैं, as a mother, what's your pressing concern? You have a young kid. What is it that you worry about?
I think the biggest concern for me as a mother is that I'm so worried about the thing that every day, we hear that the pollution level is rising for something or the other reason, and so children are more homebound. So there is less physical activity, there are less outdoor activities, less fresh air. So I'm just worried about how it's going to help in their growth. I mean, definitely if they're going to have less social interaction and less outdoor activities, less physical activities, is definitely going to result in slower growth.
I totally get that. Like I said, breathing in, breathing out today is more stressful. And considering the kind of air that we're breathing, respiratory allergies, listening to all of you speak, I just feel so inevitable. But are there any tips, something that we can do as precaution or improve the situation? Anything, if you could, we could start with you.
Foremost, I think is the as citizens. I'm not as doctors, but we have to ask for clean air, and it should be a pressing concern among all residents, all citizens of India. Unless the citizens are concerned, the government is not going to take it seriously.
Clean air.
Clean air.
Exactly.
Clean air should be a very big agenda. In the West, you can see people are so concerned. आप उनका एक forest काट दो, there are lakhs of people on the road. In India, forests are being cut every day, and we don't seem to raise more than a whimper.
So you have things which you can do at the individual level. There are some things that you can do at the community level, and then there has to be things at the policy or the governmental level. I mean, I know the air quality is not really a priority at the government level. It just spikes as the AQI worsens, the interest spikes, and then it goes away. But then we have to kind of learn to walk more, dump our cars, we have to dump our gensets. That's at the individual level. At the community level, as ma'am said, you have to take care of your forests, plant more trees, and then at the governmental level, the crop burning issues and the construction industry, everything. But I think before asking the government to do something, we have to start as citizens or as individuals and show the way.
Yeah.
So just adding to what our colleague said, जब तक वो मैनिफेस्टो या एक सस्टेन्ड लेवल ऑफ कंसर्न नहीं होता है, वो कभी भी एक्शन में नहीं आता है. And worst thing is, like, allergies and pollution don't kill like cardiovascular diseases, so they will never become a priority unless we show a concern. And so इसमें जैसे स्वच्छ भारत है, so that begins at home, number one. So cleanliness, as Saru would be more interested, like children are staying indoors, so we should have first a clean indoor environment, less of garbage in our home, and less of furniture, as Dr. Verma pointed out. House dust mite prevalence is going up because we have more rugs and beddings and linen. तो वो सब भी जरूरी है कि उसको साफ रखें. And then,
in fact, that brings me to my next question, because I was listening to all of you, and एक चीज जो सामने आई है is that जो environmental changes हैं, that of course are increasing all these respiratory allergies, and we say, oh, बाहर the air quality is not okay, be inside. But how safe is inside, ma'am? I mean,
indoor pollutants are now a bigger threat than outdoor pollutants, and which is very sad, because of course exercise is something that is needed for everybody. You eat, you sleep, you have to also exercise. This is something I make my kids go out, run and play, even if they don't like it, for the simple reason that if you're not fit, then by the time you're 40, you're going to get heart attacks and a lot of other lifestyle disorders which are now facing the country.
Kids, we know, are susceptible. That's sadly the word that we're leaving for them, but also our pregnant women,
Absolutely.
So I mean, how does that affect, and Where do we?
Yeah, so the kid's life actually starts when he's still
Yes.
he or she is still in utero. So while they're in the womb, what the mother is exposed to, has its effect on the children, and it's well proven that any exposure to, this is scientific data, that tobacco smoke or second-hand smoke, maybe even if the mother does not smoke, but the husband is smoking or the in-laws are smoking, so that smoke affects the mother, causes premature labor, causes low birth weight babies. Then it affects the kids while their lungs are still developing, so they come out with smaller lungs with lesser reserves, so they are more prone to things like asthma or in adulthood what we call a COPD or a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So yes, even before the baby is born, what affects the mother affects the baby too.
The other vulnerable section are the senior citizens, Dr. Arya. So, air pollution की वजह से rise in allergies for this particular group, because their immunity anyway comes down as with growing age.
Sure, we are seeing now. I probably 10 years back never saw a person be above 65 or 70 years of age suffering from allergic rhinitis.
Yeah.
It used to be said that once you grow old, the allergies would either die away or you will never suffer from allergies. But nowadays, see, we classical allergic rhinitis, as Dr. Verma pointed out, classical itching nose, running nose for going on for weeks together, and they are taking anti-allergics, अपने आप ले रहे हैं, फिर भी ठीक नहीं हो रहे. So senior citizens, particularly more in the elderly age group, and we all will see that our own homes, we have our parents aging into 84s and 85s and living pretty well. But these common ailments are affecting them much more than and limiting them indoors. So they are definitely vulnerable, and they are longer time to respond. And then this can pave way for more serious illness.
So on that note, I would like to ask you, doctor, that we as adults, of course, understand and we wear masks and everything. How do we make little kids, my son is
that's
3
such a
years
problem.
old, and he, no matter how much I make him understand, he doesn't want to wear a mask. So how do we cope with that?
Yeah. So see, for children to wear a mask, it's even for an adult, it is highly inconvenient, and you feel like suffocated after some time. For a child, I don't expect that they will be able to take it for long.
Right.
So best is that you find long-term measures. Agar short-term hai, if you're going to a particular locality or you're stepping out for a particular, then you wear a mask or you make the child wear a mask. Or best is that you travel in a car, so they're in a confined space where they're not exposed to outside air.
Right.
That would probably be a more doable option than making a child wear a mask.
Right.
What are we doing to our kids, doctor? बच्चे पैदा करने चाहिए.
I'll give you 2 or 3 answers to that. One, बच्चे पैदा करने चाहिए. The more important from my point of view is I have to stay in business. My practice has to go on. So if I don't have children, what do I do?
Because she has a kid now. So what are the precautions that you take when you hear these
So
things?
the most important thing I feel is to do is building their immunity. So I try to give him a lot of immunity boosting foods, which are like green leafy vegetables. I'm sure doctors will throw some more light on that, but what I do is giving him citrus fruit. Lucky for me, my kid loves fruits, especially citrus fruits, so I don't have to force that and work on the immunity instead, and that's what I feel mothers should do.
Actually, the other thing is, abhi tak we've seen how allergies are not considered like pressing, complicated medical issues. They're
Yes.
taken very lightly. Ke allergy hai, chal jayega. What are the long-term physical or psychological impact of allergies? I could.
So, if you were to have allergic rhinitis, so you would be surprised to know कि वो हमारी life को कितना affect करता है. So the quality of life index is worst affected by allergic rhinitis. It is even more than having an heart attack. It is more than having an acute attack of pneumonia. So the quality of life is affected on a day-to-day basis, and acute symptoms, even a chronic care. And then you have also a big unheard thing like sleep apnea. So
Yes,
if you
that's
snore
so common these days.
and if you have apnea that you stop breathing, like we do, and then just not breathing, so that is many a times, more than 30% of time due to allergies and allergic rhinitis, going to polyps and sinusitis. And sleep apnea is all pervasive. वो head to toe सारी की सारी systems को affect करता है, and may it be short term breathing difficulties, cardiovascular risk, hypertension, diabetes, and many a thing. So allergies should be considered on the upfront and prime cause of concern. and they should be tackled.
See, I'll just add to that. So, cancer affects less than 1% of the population.
Right.
But there's billions of dollars of research. You know, घर में किसी को कैंसर हो जाए, 100 लोग परेशान हो जाते हैं. They run to the doctor कि मेरा कैंसर तो नहीं, एक बार चेक कर लीजिए. And a lot of times we find when you're seeing a patient, then you have to ask them कि भाई इतने वेग symptoms आपके घर में किसी को कैंसर डायग्नोज हुआ है. And they'll say हाँ जी चाचा जी को अभी हुआ. So they take them, you see endoscopy करके नहीं सब ठीक है, you go home. But allergies affect almost 25 to 30% of the people, and we take it so lightly.
Children, the prime thing that happens is children don't sleep too well because of the allergies. So they don't get up fresh in the morning.
Yeah.
They're cranky in the morning, they're irritable, they don't want to eat. When they go to school, they are not alert. So their learning is impaired. So, you know, it's not just the, the heart attacks or the COPDs or the apneas. For children, it seems a so-called very minor sort of an effect, but for a young parent, it's a huge thing that the child hasn't slept well, doesn't get up fresh, doesn't eat, is irritable, is not learning at school, and all that you can attribute to just a simple sneeze that he has all the time.
Yeah.
So that's allergic rhinitis for you in children.
This was my most fun session sitting with doctors. Generally, I sit very scared, but this time I had so many questions and you all were so patient with me. Like for a lot of us, allergies are nothing, just forget about it, you're being too finicky. But you've obviously established the connection that rise in pollution has with respiratory problems, with allergies. We had a young mother here who shared her experiences and how she's bringing up her kid. And of course, another thing, there's so many giveaways that, takeaways that I have from this session, like never Google, speak to the doctor. As citizens, we have to hold the government more accountable. Unless it's an issue for you, clean air should be an issue for you. And of course, at our individual level, like the doctor said here, exercise more, try not to drive down everywhere, walk, have a healthy lifestyle. So these are things doctors keep saying, but the ease and the ease with which all of you explained to us, I think it's helped not just me, not just Saru here, but everyone who's even watching this video. So that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching it.
Thank you.
Thank you.